welcome back to another episode of You Reaching or Teaching. I am your host, Derek,
And I'm your boy Aaron.
and this is episode 13. While we're recording, it is Mother's Day, so shout out to all the mothers out there taking care of their kids, the present mothers. I'm not talking to the absent mothers.
And shout out to the single fathers holding it down.
Yeah, might as well shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs too. So yeah, shout out to the single fathers holding it down. For everyone, man. Gotta take care of your kids. But it's been well, before we even get started, sorry it took us a while to get back for another episode. You could put that all on me, you know.
I'm with you on that one too. It's on me too. I've been back and forth to the hospital, so that's with me.
Yeah, man. So, sometimes you just gotta, take a step back. There's been a lot of things going on. It is mental health awareness month, so
Mm-hmm.
definitely gotta, take care of your health, take a step back, or some things that, sometimes you just constantly do a lot, and sometimes be
Mm-hmm.
draining and everything like that. And then when you have other stuff pile up on top of that, you just, I just need to chill out. So blame me if you want, but yeah, I just had to take a step back for a few. But we back, and then it's a lot that a lot of stuff didn't happen during the
Yeah.
break during the break that we took. But definitely want to start off. Well,
But,
first,
but we've
Aaron,
been posting though, y'all. We've
I'm
been
about to say
posting.
we have been posting. Definitely staying up to date with everything that's going on. But definitely want to give a shout out to a local shout out to Chris Thompson. He's the founder of Kid Got So Elite Sports and located in the Farmville area. So pretty much he's currently starting a AAU basketball program in the area for boys and girls, pretty much from 9U to 16U. So if you have kids in the area, Farmville area, or even surrounding counties or whatever, and they're interested in playing basketball, male or female, get in contact with Chris. And you can find the page on Facebook. I'm not sure if it's on Instagram or not, but it's Kid Got Sold. So that's KID. Now these words are together. KIDGOTSOLE Elite Sports. And that's on Facebook. So yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, some other announcements. Asia Wilson, shout out to her.
Mm-hmm.
She signed an endorsement deal with Gatorade, as well as finally getting a signature shoe with Nike. I know y'all was complaining, as always, that she didn't have one, but now she have one. So now that she do have one, let's get the attention off of us and let's just celebrate that she do have a shoe now. Not
Mm-hmm.
everything got to be about us, and not
Yep.
everything got to be about the other person that got a shoe. Let's
Yep.
just celebrate that
She
she has
got
a
it.
shoe now. Like let's just keep it there, cause y'all are,
Mm-hmm.
cause I don't know, like y'all are still on the internet talking about, oh, how did this person, and we're not even talking about Caitlyn at this point. Y'all talking about other people. How did this person get a shoe? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
She got a shoe now. Congrats to her. She deserved it. One of, if not the best, one of the best top three player in the WNBA right now. So
I think she is the best.
I think so too. I know it was a poll going around, not necessarily a poll, but it's like a bracket. I forgot what I seen it on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the best player in the WNBA right now, and I think the final four was her, Breanna Stewart, I think Aaliyah Boston was the
Aaliyah Boston.
third one, and I think um Sabrina
Mm.
was the fourth one. So I think it was Asia versus Sabrina on this side, and then um Aaliyah versus Breanna Stewart on this side. So most likely it'll probably be Asia versus Breanna Stewart.
Yeah,
And in the WNBA, I would go with Asia.
I'm going Asia too. Like, I think that Breonna Stewart is her best competition. No shade to Aaliyah Boston. I think Aaliyah Boston has a lot of upside. Like there's
She has
it's
time. She
Yeah,
has time.
she has time. Is she like top five in the league? I think that's debatable, but I don't think she's definitively. Um, but other than that, I say she's probably top 10, 15 in the league.
You think you think Asia get MVP again this year?
Mm. Skylar Diggins may get it. You know,
She's
new,
on Seattle now.
yeah.
Yep.
That's a new team, new atmosphere. She can put some muscle on. She done lost that baby weight.
I'm about to
Uh,
say she's been like out of the like kind of out of the scene. Like I know she's still been playing, but like she hasn't been making a lot of noise
yeah,
in the basketball world in a minute. So
yeah.
I'm expecting her to make some noise this year.
If Asia don't get it, it'll probably be Brianna. Not Brianna, Sabrina. But you know something I do notice about the WNBA does that the NBA isn't afraid to do? They're not afraid to give you back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah,
Like like the NBA, it's like there's times where like Kobe should have got it more than once, Shaq should have got it more than once, D Wade should have got it, period. But with the WNBA, it's like who the best? Asia. Cool.
yeah. Off the rip,
Out
yeah,
the
she
rip.
got it.
Yeah, that's it. Like she got it. No problem.
Yeah,
So
that,
I will always give them that credit when it comes to like accolades.
nah, that's true. Because I mean, yep, they've been getting it right. Going into our other MVP that just retired, Candace Parker,
Mhm.
two-time MVP of the league. It's been 16 years in the WNBA. She played for Sparks, Chicago, and Vegas, Las Vegas Aces. So three-time champion, just retired. So congrats to a successful career, one of the
Mhm.
best in all of women basketball. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's probably something we should do next time. Like give a our opinion of a top 10
Oh,
of
we can do
women
a Mount
basketball.
Rushmore.
You want to do it right now?
We can
I
do a
don't,
W.
if I could do it right now, but I don't know I don't know if it would be the same next episode.
No, no, let's do a poll. We're gonna do a poll online. We're gonna
Okay.
see what the people say, and then we're gonna talk about what we think. That way we got time to like think.
Yeah. Let's do that. That's yeah, I think that'll be a good topic. But shout out to her. She also just got hired as the president of Adidas hired her as the president of women's basketball. So
Mhm.
shout out to her for that. And I think that's just pretty much overseeing like the product, like the
Mhm.
shoes and stuff, and just
And signing athletes.
signing athletes. I know it's a couple. I think Leah Boston is part of
Mhm.
Adidas as well.
Yeah, Leah is. I think they're probably gonna go for which we'll call it, Shawty from the Sparks now, the tall one, white one.
Cameron,
Camry. I think they're probably gonna sign her.
most likely.
I mean, that Sparks connection. She's a big,
Yeah,
like she's marketable. Might as well.
yeah, facts. Big facts. I can see that happening.
Yeah, hey, look, real quick, Candace better get her before Jordan come get her.
That is true. That is true. I don't know. I think Brand's now is starting to. I think she'll get signed soon. I
Mhm.
give it a shoot. I give it another 2 weeks before she'll probably be signed.
I give it a month.
Honestly,
I get a month,
yeah. Because when
but
do I
mhm,
know preseason is going on right now? The regular season starts this week
I
or
want to say the 21st.
next week? Next week.
I want to say the 21st. I'll look it up.
But yeah, yeah, I can see her signing with somebody soon. I wonder who's gonna be the person, the underrated person that would get signed after this season.
Mm.
There's always a couple. There's always a couple people that just sneak in the fold.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I, me personally, I'm not gonna. For me, May 14th. That's when the season starts.
Yep, this week. Yep, Tuesday.
So the week off. I would say that it's not. I don't think there's anyone underrated who's gonna be signed. I think it's where they signed will be the bigger thing. Because like if Reese didn't sign with Reebok, I think she probably would have signed with either Adidas or Jordan. Caitlin Clark already got Nike.
Yeah,
I still gonna say what you call it, Cameron from the Spartans. I'm making sure I'm saying the right person. I said it right.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I still think that she gonna go sign with Adidas, but then I'm also looking at like Paige Buchers, because she gonna get drafted next year. I say she signed with Nike, but an underrated pick would be Adidas. I could see which will call it. Ah, damn, it's I am blanking on her. I see her in my head right now. Oh, the Brazilian shawty who's on
Camilla.
Camilla. I could see her actually signing with Under Armour.
She
Because I don't know if she has a shoe
what
deal or
commercial
not.
did she just do?
Oh, she did a commercial? Dang, I didn't know.
Yeah, she just did a commercial. I want to say it was probably Gatorade. I mean, let me look that up. I
If it
don't like
is
Under Armour.
Gatorade, that's fire. But I could see her going with Under Armour, just like her teammate who got the contract with Steph.
True. Um, but Angel was bound to sign with the Reebok
Oh yeah, just that
only because of
relationship with Shaq.
LSU connection, and she from Baltimore, so she got that like DMV connection with Iverson,
Yeah.
Georgetown. So that was bound to happen.
Yeah. Plus, really, if you're from the DMV area, it's like a lot of times, me personally, I've seen that you either get Adidas, not like a Reebok deal, but it's like you're involved with their type of stuff. Maybe Nike, but I feel like a lot of people like from the West Coast get Nike more so.
Yeah,
That's just a me thing.
I'm a Nike person anyway, so
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But it's gonna be very interesting to see like more of the signing. Like, also we didn't mention the expansion. The WNBA is getting a team in Canada,
I did see that. Toronto, right?
in Toronto, yeah. And they put out a poll to see like what name would you call the team. Some people had some good names. Some people was on there just being assholes. You know, I was I low key want them to do the Toronto Huskies just because the NBA is not using it,
Yeah,
but they probably not gonna do that. They probably gonna come up with something else.
I'll tell them because I mean, unless they take like an old NBA team. What was that? Because Grizzlies was originally Van.
Vancouver.
Shit, they might take the Grizzlies damn thing. I don't know.
I mean, look, it's gonna be close to what the Raptors are. So it's like, it may be the Toronto Pterodactyls.
Pterodactyl.
The
Goddamn T-Rex. That motherfucker.
T-Dactyls.
Don't tell them what names they come up with. But
No, for
that's dope
real.
though. I think they need it. More teams. I did see somebody speak today, or was it last night? It's probably last night when I was watching ESPN. But as expected, of course, it's just the preseason, but numbers are up
Hmm.
across the board when you're talking about viewing, when you're just talking about revenue and like merch and everything like that. So ticket sales. So numbers are up. So and I did see that they was finally going to get like a charter plane for athletes now, so they don't have to ride commercial no more. So
Which is good.
that's good. So I mean, just one step at a time.
It
It's
is, and it
progress is
is.
progress.
It is because the WNBA has the benefit. They have the benefit of there being more money today.
Yep.
It's just like these things got to happen for them to get those bigger contracts and stuff like that. Because it's like, did you see the Aces practice facility? I'm like, okay, who dropped the bag up in here?
Man, listen, that junk was nice.
Man, I'm like, shoot, this is where you had AAU games.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. I'm about to just go there for no reason.
No, for real. Like, I just want to walk in here and leave. That's it, officer. Like, I'm not here. Like, I'm not here to bother the
That should be
players.
something I gotta look into. Like next time people we like take a trip to Vegas, see if we can book a tour in the facility or something.
Like, and
Like
you know why not? Why
exactly.
not?
That's
Like,
like I'm
both
gonna look
from
into that. I'm gonna look into that. See
please do. Please do. Because it's like both from the business standpoint as well as like the personal standpoint. Why not offer $50 a person? We tour around here for like an hour and a half.
that's
You get like a shirt or something, a little ball, and that's it. You go
that's
home. Go.
it.
That's it.
That's all I need. A little peek in there, see what they got going on. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. You got the practice schedule. It's like, all right, cool. They not in the gym from 3 to 4, from 10 to 12, and from 5 to 6. That's tour time. Cool.
Right. Let your boy in the building. Let your boy in the building.
That's it. That's all I need. I don't even want to shoot nothing. I just want to look at it.
That's it. Oh man. Uh NBA stuff. Shout out to Tony Allen. He
Hmm.
will be getting his jersey retired in Memphis next season. So big shout out to him.
About
Definitely a
time.
defensive specialist. If you don't know about him, look him up. Cause a lot of people, well, today's age don't. I don't know who would be today's Tony Allen. I'm not even gonna say Pat Bev.
Somebody, that's tough because we're talking about someone who's Lou Dort. I'll say that. Lou Dort.
Okay. Dog is a good one.
If not Lou Dort, then I would say either Lou Dort, Alex Caruso.
It's hard to say without the accolades.
And that's the thing. It's like if we're going accolades, the closest thing would probably be Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart, yeah, that's what. But no disrespect to Marcus Smart, I just feel like Tony Allen just a step,
Oh,
a couple steps above Marcus
yeah.
Smart. So I don't know. That's a hard thing, man. People don't. Once again, it's the new NBA, so a lot of people don't specialize in defense. But we'll get into that. But that's why I got the Wolves potentially
Mm.
advancing
Okay,
on, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
I got you.
What else been happening? So, well, since we brung up Pat Bath, what the fuck what he got going on? Why he throwing shit? Why is he throwing shit in the crowd? Not once. He threw the ball twice.
You know, I need more context for that situation. Like, did dude say something?
Apparently, on his, I guess it was his podcast that the clip came from,
Hmm.
but he said, let's just say he didn't specify what the person said. He just said, let's just say it was more than Cancun on three. That's all
Mm.
he said. But at the same time, you're Pat Bath. You're probably one of the like top three trash talkers on the court and off the court. So what can they really say to make you want to throw the ball at him? I think you were just pissed that y'all was about to go home. That's just me.
Mm.
You was just pissed that y'all was about to go home, and anything somebody said behind the bench, you just probably took it as an offense. Now, I don't know what he said. He probably went further than that. I'm not
Hmm.
sure it was a racial thing or not. If it was, I feel like he would have said that. But he just said, let's just say it was more than Cancun on three. Cause what and they I'm not sure the fine, but they did suspend him for 4 games next season
Hmm. Yep.
in the beginning. So I thought it was more than that, but they did say the Indiana uh police is investigating it still. So I'm not sure if more consequences will happen with that. So we'll
Yeah.
have to see what unfolds in that situation.
If they investigating it, then the person must have filed a case against them.
I would shit.
Uh,
Like
it's
because the person he was throwing it at originally missed. He missed
hmm.
and he smacked the woman in the face. Like she was
Damn.
just like she wasn't even paying attention. Smacked the woman in the face and then he called for the ball back.
Hmm.
He got the ball back and threw it at the person. again. So I was like, when I first, soon as the clip started going on Twitter, I said, "Yep, that's a big check. That is a big check that's about to happen." Cause I mean, it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like to
So,
me, I'm a person where two things can be true at the same time. In this case, I'm gonna say three. It was definitely unnecessary. It probably could have been warranted because it's like, and I was talking this one day with a dude back in undergrad that regardless that you are in the NBA making all this money, you're still a person. And it's like, okay, yeah, Pat Bev was a great trash talker. Absolutely. However, it could have been that one thing that was said to make him go from NBA trash talk Pat Bev to Patrick Beverly off the court. Like, who the hell are you talking to? Like, so something could have been said to provoke him. But I'm also going to agree with what you said too. Of like, when you losing and you already agitated, everything pisses you off. Like,
everything.
everything.
Probably
Like,
could have gave him a compliment. He was like, "What you say?" Just because they is Indiana. Could
like,
have took it wrong.
and it was like something that happened like to me. It was one dude, we was playing in a meal game, and I didn't say nothing crazy. I was like, "Come on, baby, what we doing?" Because it's like he got another foul early, and I'm like, I don't want nobody to foul out early. Like I want a good game. And he looked at me. He was like, how come you're good in the fucking game with some fucking defense with your bitch ass?" I was like, "Whoa,
Like, how did we get
whoa."
here? Let's lower the tone. How did we get here?
And it's like he was frustrated because they kept turning the ball over, they weren't making nothing. He was the only one who was putting forth effort. And like I texted him after the game, I was like, bro, we good? Like, I won't talking crap to you. Like, I didn't say nothing. He was like, no, my bad. Like, I was just pissed. I was already having a bad day. Like, it won't you, it was the game. I was like, yeah, we all been there. It's the game.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's what I blame it on. I just blame because they lost. He was just aggravated. They said something. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll see what it unfolds. Because I definitely once I seen that clip, I said, yeah, that woman gonna get paid
Oh yeah, yeah. He gonna have to pay probably like, I would say about
6 figures.
maybe 6 figures. Yes.
Definitely
About.
6 figures. Minimum. Nothing lower
Yeah.
than 100K.
Nah. And if they do go lower with the money, which I don't think they will, but I think they'll increase the suspension.
That's the thing too. I was like, just 4 games? I was like, y'all
Yeah.
gave Draymond
Damn near the whole
longer
season.
than y'all gave Draymond longer than that. You know what I'm saying? He just been a little choco.
That's it. That was it. It was a little WWE. That's all. Little Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know what he got going on. And then what you had sent me, the ESPN said he can't make any more guest appearances.
No, for real.
Well, I don't know, man. That could go either way. It could go either way. I know you felt a certain way about it.
I just thought that was too much.
Yeah,
Like it was basically him dismissing that one lady. Like that this is his comment was unnecessary. He didn't need to say that. But that wasn't enough to do that. That's just me. Like, come
yeah.
on.
See, I think the way I was viewing it is because that interview happened after the incident happened on the court. So I'm just thinking they saw that happen with him and the fan, and then he got in the locker room, and you specifically told ESPN's
Yeah.
reporter, not nobody else. You told
Yep.
that reporter, "Oh no, you got to back up." Push the mic down. Told her, "Oh yeah, slide back. Go ahead, move around." You know,
Yeah, go back
side.
there, get some
Man,
popcorn.
they probably looking at that like, "How you gonna
Yeah.
disrespect us?"
You know,
We brought you on the platform a couple times, and you got your podcast. I mean, no disrespect to that, but we still ESPN. We're still Disney. Like
yeah.
they're not bigger than us. So
But ESPN real sensitive.
yeah, we know.
Like they real sensitive. That ain't no secret.
And I ain't gonna lie, I hate watching the games on ESPN. Like the commentary and then the post show, pre show, it's just not exciting.
Nah.
Like inside the NBA done spoiled me pretty much. Like, like that's like the best basketball show, pro show in the game, probably ever.
Yeah.
So hopefully, because I know they was talking about the deal that they got coming up, and they may not be renewing it or something like that. So, but I
Yeah.
hope they do because I cannot take Stephen A. And no disrespect to them, they're great
Hmm.
analysts, but I don't want to listen to them.
No, Stephen A is great for when the day after the game is over.
Yeah, like I'd rather listen to him on first take. I don't want to listen to him while the game is happening. I
Yeah.
don't need to hear that.
It's just like because certain people, it's like Charles Barkley, Shaq, they got the personality for when the game is happening, they make it more amped up. And like even like a few minutes after, like it could have been a blowout. They still gonna like go back and forth like it could have been a close game versus but then like after you let this shit marinate, then Monday you go into Steve and they talk about something. I agree with Charles Barkley that Anthony Edwards is a superstar. Yeah, that game where he was a superstar, like it bring it back up. Like,
Man, not the voice. He be killing me, man. He be killing me all around. Um, what else been happening, man? Oh, Frank is out of there. Vogel, they
yeah.
got Vogel out of there with the quickness after the team went sixth place in the West, but got skunked,
Hmm.
swept, whatever you want to call it, in the playoffs.
Let's just tie in that and Darvin Ham. Let's
Yeah,
just talk
yeah,
about both of them.
we're gonna get into all of that. Oh man. Well, first, in the Suns, in the Suns case, do you blame well, we can do both.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's just do both. Suns and so Frank and Darvin Ham. Do you blame for well, they both made the playoffs,
Yeah.
but for the lack of success they had in the postseason, do you blame the players mostly? Do you blame the coach or do you blame the front office more?
And also for both situations, mm, for both situations, I'm blaming the front office. And that's because looking at like the Suns, start with like Phoenix, like James Jones, he's a good general manager. I think he does do a good job. It's just that you gutted your bench for KD
Yeah.
and you signed like decent role players, but they just don't fit with what y'all got going on.
No.
But
Same.
then it's mhm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you go ahead. I wait, I wait.
No, I was gonna say same. And I know we talk about, a lot of people talk about the new NBA and how the rules and everything is more catered to the offense more than the
Defense.
defense now. And that Suns trade kind of speaks to that because even though once KD is KD, like
Hmm.
you can't deny that, but how can you give away your best defensive player
Yep.
to, for more points?
Hmm.
You may get more points, but who gonna stop the other team for scoring more points?
Exactly.
And that's different from it's like that's why I thought Boston had the best off season because they got rid of Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year, just to get Drew Holiday back. And they got Porzingis. So they got both. So they, got both sides of the ball. So
Hmm.
that trade just never made sense to me. So I don't know how they expected to bring KD over, and then you want to bring Bill over, who was also not known for defense,
Nah.
was a top five scorer in the league probably like 5 years ago. He may still have that ability, but after looking at this season, it doesn't seem like he has that ability no more. Um, so that just never made sense. And your bench didn't get better.
Nope.
I think that was the issue last year.
The
That
issue
was the
last
issue last year because y'all didn't have depth.
and it's like weird because like they did, but they didn't. They had depth, but their depth had to be starters.
Hmm.
So it's like when your team was fully healthy, yeah, you got depth on the bench now because then you had campaign who could come off the bench for you. You had Torrey Craig, good defender who come off the bench for you. Um I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's like their depth was decent enough to help their starters out. But when Devin Booker was hurt, Chris Paul is hurt, DeAndre Ayton not playing good, like, and you got to use those pieces a lot. Now they're so used to playing when Chris Paul and Devin Booker back, they regress a lot.
Yeah.
So that it just like ended up just not working.
I think in the I think in the Suns case, like it's like just because it's a big name, it doesn't. And Bradley Beal is he's still Bradley Beal, but it's not as big name as used to be. But just because it's a big name doesn't make your team better. Like you still gotta have like you should have the right pieces. Like
Hmm.
even bringing let's see what's another scorer you would think it is in the league right now.
Another scorer in the league, like a Bradley Beal level scorer, or like a scorer,
Yeah,
period.
maybe a little above, maybe like a Donovan Mitchell, right?
Okay.
Let's just say you bring Donovan Mitchell over to the Suns.
Hmm.
It's not gonna work.
It's not.
It's not gonna work just because it's a big name, just because he can produce a lot on the offensive end, doesn't mean it makes the team better. And
Yeah.
like with them, and even KD talked about it. Well, he didn't really talk about it. I think somebody just spilled the beans after they lost,
Hmm.
after they got swept. They said KD never felt comfortable
Yep.
in the system that they had going on. They kind of just set him in the corner and things of that nature. But I mean, I get that point, but at the same time, it's like you still got Devin Booker on the team. He's younger than you, so most likely, even though you are KD, how we look at LeBron and AD, we like AD needs to be the main person
Hmm.
on the Lakers. So I kind of see the same thing when you're talking about KD and Devin Booker. Booker needs to be that person for the Suns. Like I feel like the offense needs to run through Booker, and then KD gonna do what KD do because
Hmm.
that's just him. So I kind of that's how I would picture it, but I think he didn't want to feel like that. So I think they're gonna have to get to a point like Melo where
Yeah.
they just realize like I'm getting older. These young cats, they're running. Like
Hmm.
I can't really stick with them as I used to. I still can do what I do on the offensive end, but I'm not the same. And we can see that. Like
Yep.
we can see how, from like MVP KD to now, like just the movement, like his dribble is not as quick as it used to be. So it's like, bro, it's time for you to
Hmm.
not necessarily take a backseat, but
But
less of
just
a role on the team.
yeah, like, and it's like for him, less of a role is just less touches.
That's it.
And it's like that ain't gonna hurt you because it's like KD is actually a good defender. KD's actually a very underrated rebounder. And it's like, bro, like, well, one, I'll say this. What messed them up, one, is not bringing back Chris Paul because then you don't have a point guard. So instead of getting Bradley Beal, you should have just re-signed Chris Paul because now that way he can facilitate so Booker and KD can get what they need.
True.
But when you have Devin Booker, who averaged, I think he averaged like 7 assists, 8 assists this year, but it's like a scorer getting that much assists versus a pass first person, the impact is different because it's like Devin Booker, he's being passive and giving it to you, but then it's like, okay, all right, you mine. You had yours, it's mine. Chris Paul don't care about that. Like he don't care about getting his. It's like
Yeah.
Chris Paul will get a bucket if necessary, like let's say everybody on the court is colder than the Atlantic, like well than the Arctic. All right, I'm gonna go get this mid range real quick. I'm gonna get this floater. I'm gonna hit this three. All right, since now they're looking at me. All right, here you go, book.
Yeah.
because you've had time now. They didn't have that facilitator to throw it in, but they sacrificed that for more scoring by getting Beal as well as KD. Like Bradley Beal is not a shooter like JJ Redick or Kyle Korver. He's a shooter like a Ray Allen or like a Reggie Miller. Like these guys are scorers as well as can shoot.
Yeah. And I know for me, it's like with Devin Booker, it's like, and this is why I like blame the front office. Like, you didn't get a point guard after you let Chris Paul go, and you
Mm-mm.
wanted to turn Booker into the point guard. You wanted him to have the ball in his hands and facilitate, make the plays, and everything of that nature. But I feel like it wasn't his. I don't know. I just feel like with the Suns, it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
Versus when Harden went to Rockets,
Hmm.
where even though he's a scorer, he wanted to be the facilitator as well.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So those are two different types of players, and
You
I
mean when he
just
went
feel
to the
like
Rockets when
it's
he was young or when he went to the Clippers?
both. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Rockets. Yeah, yeah. Because when it was OKC, it was still kind of Russ show.
Yeah.
Russ, it was ball in Russ hands mostly, but when he got his own team and he was the scorer, but he was also facilitator, and like he averaged like close to 9 or 10 assists a season. So
Hmm.
um, I just feel like Booker didn't want that role, but he didn't have no choice but to do that.
Yep.
And he didn't do a bad job because, like you said, he averaged like 7, 8 assists, but
Yeah.
where they at now?
But it's like a lot of those assists were forced because that's not his game.
Yeah, like so. That's why I blame the front office of that. But Lakers, they
Oh,
get
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it short with the Lakers. Stop giving LeBron everything he wants. The bench wasn't cohesive. Stop giving LeBron everything he wants. And stop giving LeBron everything he wants. There we go.
that's pretty
Uh,
much it. That's pretty much it. Um, that's I don't know. When the all season was happening, I don't know everything. Especially, I don't want to be a GM. I feel like GMs is a headache. The specific pieces you need for the team and everything like that. It takes a lot to know about that.
Mm,
But when we start signing people, I just be like, I don't know about this person.
yep.
I think the only person I was cool on was Vando.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Cause
think
he
he
a
probably
dog.
was the only one because of his defensive ability. Um, who else?
I like that we
I think
signed
I
Cam
think
Reddish.
I think I was cool on Christian Wood just as a backup for
Yeah.
um Anthony Davis.
Hmm.
Reddish, um, I thought it was a good pickup, but at the same time, it was like we know what he has the potential to do,
Yeah.
but we haven't seen it on full display. But of course, that comes with him just getting the opportunities to do what he do. So you can't
Yep.
you can't put that all on him. But
Mm-mm.
at the same time, it's like I still need to see what he can do. It. Of course, we didn't really give him that opportunity either. He
Nope.
had some moments throughout the season, but
Spencer Dinwiddie was a terrible pickup.
oh my god, I didn't like it. I said it from the jump. I said I didn't like it from the jump, and he didn't do nothing for us.
No,
He didn't
nothing.
do anything for us. So yeah,
It's like Spencer Dinwiddie needs to be a starter to be effective.
Mhm.
Like and it's like I'm not a starter like on a championship team. He needs to be a starter on a team like Charlotte or DC or Brooklyn where he was or even a team like the Rockets. I think he would do great on the Rockets. Like If Van Vliet wasn't there, like him and Jalen Green would be a pretty interesting combo because all you need is Denver to give you like 15, 16 a night. But other than that, he gonna play defense.
Oh yeah.
Like I think he would have worked well on a team like that. But it's like him coming off the bench, he's coming in for Reeves or D'Lo, and then it's like coming off the bench too. Then you gonna have Cam and Vando. We got three people on the court now who really aren't scorers.
Yeah.
And then who are the other two? AD and Bron.
Yeah.
It's
So
we need a center. I'm sick of AD at the five.
we do.
Like it's not working as good as we think. We fuck it,
You
trade
just
D'Lo.
kept JaVale McGee, like no,
You could have kept JaVale
he
McGee. You
could have
could have
kept him.
re-signed Dwight. Dwight would have taken that 3 million vet minimum
Yep,
because he don't care about the money. He want to play,
that's it. And I mean, and JaVale McGee just resting on the Kings bench,
not
not
doing
not
nothing.
doing anything. Shoot, could bring DeAndre Jordan.
No, for real, bring him back. Fuck it,
Bring him back over. Shoot.
geez, man. But Rob Pelinka really needs to strategize with this because I think what separates both situations still front office issues.
Hmm.
James Jones doesn't have KD in his neck going, give me who I want. Rob Pelinka has that LeBron atmosphere of like, hey, if you want me to stay here, we need to make these moves.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference is. James Jones needs to sit back and strategize like, okay, what can be best for the team? Versus Rob Pelinka is like, okay, whatever's good for LeBron is good for the team, which isn't always true.
Yep.
Like, like getting Christian Wood, I don't think was a terrible move. Like, especially as a backup. Same thing with doing the trade for Rui. That was a good trade because he's he's
Oh,
he's fine. That
yeah.
was a he
Rule was a
fits in
good
our
one.
system. That was a good trade. I still think we gave too many picks, but good trade. Um, but it's just like this is the prime time right now to game plan because if we're in the play-in again next season, both teams, all right, we're the dynamite. We're gonna blow this up.
Can't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, I was thinking, do we still celebrate the in-season tournament?
Exactly. That BS Cracker Jack championship.
Oh my God.
Man, look, I say this too. You said you couldn't be a GM. I could be a GM because I'm not afraid to make those tough decisions. Like, you know how they talked about they probably gonna draft Bronny. I would look at LeBron and say, hell no, you play ball with him at the house.
That's
Um,
facts.
like even like right now for the Spurs, I'm trading that first round pick for Trey Young.
Mm, that
Y'all need a
that could
point
work.
guard. You need more shooting. And what's wrong with another name in the house? Because
We
he
get,
don't affect Wemby's game.
yeah, we're gonna get into that too. I did want to talk about that Atlanta trade. Well,
Okay.
not Atlanta trade. Atlanta, they got the number one pick, so I didn't
Okay.
want to talk about that because
All right.
that was odd.
That was odd.
I didn't expect them to get it. I didn't expect them to get it. But no, I agree with everything you said about the Lakers. And everything I blame the front office. It's hard to blame the coach. Of course, sometimes in the season, in certain games, it was like the rotation can be off.
Yeah, that was his fault.
But who do you blame when y'all are up 20 and let a team come back? That's not
Three
rotation.
times.
That's not a rotation problem. That's the players' problem. Y'all
Hmm.
are on the court. Y'all let these teams come back and win the game. Like you can't blame the coach for that.
And even with that too, like and I'll just say this quickly, even with that too, what did he have to work with?
That's yeah, that part. That part. Because it definitely it was nothing. You had Reeves. I mean, and that's another thing too, is like you want AD to have the ball in his hand, clutch time, crunch time. when LeBron had the ball in his hand, crunch time, right?
Hmm.
If they not, especially AD wasn't getting, AD was just wasn't giving us nothing in the fourth quarter,
Nope.
right? Maybe that could be a coaching issue. I don't know. Or maybe you need to speak up. I'm
Yep.
AD. Give me the fucking ball. I done this first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. I'm doing okay. Fourth quarter, I just disappear altogether. I
Yep.
don't do anything in the fourth quarter. Is it because I'm not getting the ball? Is it because I'm just having an off day? Like, what is it?
Like,
Either way, either way, give me the fucking ball.
yep.
Give me the fucking ball.
Mm.
So yeah, all that I blame all them niggas. Get
Yeah, I
rid of
do.
all them niggas. I'm glad all them niggas gone.
Look, they threw the whole coaching staff away. Not just the head coach. They threw the assistant coach, the assistant coach, the water boy, the towel boy, one of the Laker girls, a printer.
The,
The printer. They said, "Fuck this goddamn." So, like, Jeannie Bus kicked that shit straight out her
oh,
office. She said, "You traded too." Like, as that joint was flying down.
oh, that's funny.
Ah,
Oh man, but I do want to get into the lottery right quick before
okay.
we go on the break. So they just had the lottery. Atlanta got the first pick, Washington got the next one, then Houston, Spurs, Detroit, Hornets, Portland. So Spurs got the eighth pick, but it was originally Toronto, and
Mhm.
then Memphis, Utah, Chicago. The 12th pick is going to OKC, but it was originally Houston, Sacramento, and then the 14th pick is going to Portland, which was originally Golden State. So I was kind of one with Atlanta. I didn't know how they got the pick because they did.
Shit,
They
me
had
neither.
the potential. They had the potential of making the playoffs. They wasn't a play in, so I'm not sure how they got it. So kind of looking at just the format and qualifications of the draft. So of course, all the 14 teams that miss out on the playoffs are eligible. The final odds are determined after the regular season, and tie breaks were settled between teams with identical regular season records. So they said under the revamped format, which began with the 2019 draft, the NBA draft lottery will ensure that the team with the worst record will receive no worse than the fifth pick. And
Mm.
under the pre 2019 system, the team with the worst record would pick no lower than the fourth. Um, I
Interesting.
think it just the way I was reading, just the format and everything like that. It was kind of my thoughts was just making sure teams don't try to tank in the
Yeah.
season and everything like that.
Hmm.
Um, but when I seen Atlanta, I was like, what do they do with that? Because Trey Young, like, do you trade that pick and get someone to come to Atlanta,
Hmm.
or you keep that pick and trade Trey Young somewhere else?
Mm.
Because I
I
they got some. I think they got options.
I think they got option too. And like I said before, um, I'm gonna put my GM hat on. I'm trading Trey, not because he's not good, not because that system. I just feel like it's just time for him to move on. So I would trade, like I said, I'm trading him to the Spurs, and they can get Atlanta can get that 7 foot dude. Um, I'm blanking on his name. He's nice though.
You talking about from
From
Purdue?
Frank.
Oh,
No, not
Frank.
Purdue. Yeah, 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 not Edie. Like I'll say this too. A lot of people giving Zach Edie a lot of crap, comparing him to Zubac. That man is better than Zubac. Like y'all only saying that just because the brothers look like him.
I don't know. I can't say that just yet. He may be. He
He's
makes
nice, bro. Like he's not rookie of the year nice, but he is first round pick nice. Like
yeah,
I'm not saying he's gonna be top five pick, which I'm not mad if he is, but he's not second round future bust.
yeah. I think he's 7. That's a big dude. So it's it's a big dude. I think he just needed his footwork needs to be better.
And that's fine to say that.
Yeah.
Like there are things about his game which definitely do need to improve. But I think that him being drafted, you can put him on a team like the Wizards and he'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Like it would literally be how Brandon Miller is for Charlotte right now. Like 23 points a game, like 6 boards, a few assists, not shooting fantastically, but he didn't have an ass year.
Yeah.
Like Edie, he should be the number 2 pick just for what Washington needs,
Yeah.
just for what they need.
Let me read that again. So yeah, top 5 is Atlanta, Washington, Houston, Spurs, and Detroit. I'm surprised Detroit fell that far down.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
But yeah,
But
I would think Detroit is fine on big men.
mhm,
Um,
they are. They got nothing but fucking big men.
yeah, Spurs, of course. Houston, yeah, Houston is good. So Washington would be the best since Capella's still on Atlanta.
hmm
So yeah, Washington would be the best choice. So like the dude from France that you sent me today, wasn't it Alex, I believe?
Yeah, Alex.
Um, what is he though? Like, is he
He's a forward. He's a power forward.
so he a power forward? So he played a four?
Like, because basically, if you trade Trey Young, like if you trade him to San Antonio and you give them like 3 picks, which we'll call it, the the blonde headed dude, I can never remember his name from San Antonio.
What are you talking about? I
Yeah,
know,
you
I
give
know,
them you
I know
you
you're
get
talking about.
I don't know the motherfucking name. Like you
He
can
ain't
get
important.
give them him and like another player off the bench. Like that'll clear some cap space. You can probably sign like an average point guard or start dude at point guard like San Antonio did. And then now you got your center to your forwards on your shooting guard straight because you still gonna have what you call it, you still got Capella at the center.
Mhm.
Now you got the 7-footer power forward who's new, inject some life into the system. You got Sadiq Bey still small forward. Or they could like include him and Trey both go to Charlotte. I'm not Charlotte, both go to San Antonio. But then you have to give us someone like Keldon Johnson, which I don't know if they want to do that, but it may be necessary to do that. Like it's the trade is there for them to give each team what they need. Like you give Trey a new system, you give him a structured coach in Popovich, and you give him another really good player to play with. And then Atlanta, you just get a whole new start with a very talented rookie, still a pretty decent core, and then you can just build on the small things too. Because it's like it'll be easy to go get a defensive guard to fill in that gap for Trey Young versus going to get another Trey Young.
Facts. Do you think so? We always said the Spurs need that facilitator. Do you think is that all they need?
They
Or
need another
what other
shooter.
piece? What other piece you think they need?
They need a shooter like a Luke Kennard. Um, they need a shooter like him, someone who won't eat up a lot of money, knockdown shooter, or if not like a Luke Kennard, someone
Let me
like
let
hmm?
me ask.
hmm
Do you think do you think Clay fits that system?
I think Clay fits that system in terms of him being coachable.
Yeah.
So Clay, if he signs with San Antonio and they make that trade and get Trey Young, Clay, Wemby, and Trey is a very nice three on the court. Like they probably gonna be realistically, that's probably a play-in team. They're probably a 10th seed, probably. If not, they the 11th seed, and then you can just get another first round pick.
I see that. I think before next episode, I'm gonna try to find like who are all the
The free agents.
free agents this off season and see because they definitely need the point, a facilitator, a shooter.
Yep.
If they can add a role player, another role player coming off the bench, and maybe another defensive player on the team,
Yep.
then I can see them really being playing or well, I forgot if you the 7 seed you're the playing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you could be a player team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so I
I
can see
it it's like if those things happen, they, in my opinion, if things just go right and other teams in the season are having adjustment issues and stuff like that, they could mess around and be the seventh seed. You could be like the Miami of the West.
that. Yep.
But if things don't work, you the 11th seed, you didn't make the playoffs, but you probably gonna get another first round lottery pick. You're gonna sign Wemby to the extension. Clay won't be that expensive, and Trey Young there, and it was like a good, like let's say he has a season where he averaged like 22 and 11. As well as like with Wemby out there, he gonna have a lot of space to shoot now, so his percentage is probably more than likely gonna go up. He's probably gonna be satisfied with his play. I'm not gonna say he want the super max, but I don't think he gonna want to like to break the bank. Like I think with people like Trey Young, I think people don't give him enough credit for being reasonable with money.
Yeah.
Like in Atlanta, of course I'm gonna take the super max. Who else here?
Yeah, exactly. Big facts. And I've been giving you consistent numbers as long as I've been here, like the past 5 years. So
Exactly. So you put him in a system like San Antonio. I just think that's nothing but good things. Like the only thing that don't work is y'all just don't win a lot. That's it.
yep. And I'm gonna elaborate on that when we in the next second half. Uh, any other thoughts on this before we go on break?
Nope, I'm good.
Cool, cool, cool. So we're gonna take a short break, and then when we return, we're gonna get into defensive player of the year, as well as MVP and playoffs. So we'll be right
Unfiltered
back.
Brothers is on Patreon. Be sure to become a member and show your support for the podcast. Your support will help us invest in our business to help the podcast grow and expand our brand. There are 3 tiers you can choose from. Get early access to the audio and video a day before the episodes are available on streaming services and YouTube. Be the first to know about special announcements and get access to exclusive episodes or content. Also, 10% of Tier 3 will also be donated to a charity of our choice at the end of each year. So thank you in advance.
And
Now
welcome
back to the
back
episode.
to your reaching or teaching. So we're gonna get into the defensive player of the year conversation. So the top 3 were Rudy, Wemby, as well as Bam. Rudy took home his what was it,
Fourth.
fourth one?
Mhm.
His fourth defensive player of the year award. Beating out Wemby and Bam. You know, it's a lot of talks around this. Me personally, I just felt like similar to the MVP. I just felt like Wemby deserved that.
He did.
Um, one, the numbers speaks for itself. He damn
Hmm.
near doubled his averages,
Yep.
like damn near doubled Rudy averages. Only thing that hurt Wemby was his
The
record,
team record.
team record. But that's the team record. And the way they was talking, it was like when I seen some stats. I don't know off the top of my head, but when Wemby is on the court, the
Hmm.
Spurs are a top 5 defensive team in the league when
Yep.
he's on the court. Mind
Hmm.
you, he plays less than 30, he averages less than 30 minutes a game, like
Yep.
28, 29 minutes a game.
I thought it was 27.
Probably so. Probably so. But when he's on the court, they're like the best defensive team. You can't say that about Rudy. And as we see with game 2 was it? Yeah, game 2 of the playoffs when they played Nuggets. He didn't even play, and they
Mm-mm.
destroyed the Nuggets.
Yep.
Like they have a great defensive team
Mm.
overall,
Yeah.
even though Rudy is still Rudy. Like he's
Yeah.
a great defensive player. You can't take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you just talk about your impact defensively for your team, I don't understand how you not get at to Wemby. It doesn't make sense to me. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree. This is where, like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, this is where the WNBA succeeds and the NFL and the NBA fails, is giving those awards without some preconceived planning.
No
Like,
politics.
no politics. Like, because Wemby should have got Defensive Player of the Year and he should have got Rookie of the Year, which he did get Rookie of the Year. Because there's certain awards which aren't team oriented. Defensive Player of the Year is one, Most Improved Player of the Year is one, and we could argue that Sixth Man of the Year is one.
Yeah.
But it just was unfair because I get they don't want to have a Wemby bias because of all the hype that built up to him being drafted. But it's like if he deserved it, he deserved it.
He earned it. He would have earned it.
He would have earned it. Yes, he earned it. And it's like no shade to Rudy. Like not even a you won already type of deal. It's just he just was better than you. And that's fine. So Wemby should have got it. He was robbed. But
I
he
know
number
for
he probably gonna get it next year.
I know for like the NBA, I don't know if you know it or not, but for the all NBA teams, they said they're going positionless.
Yep.
Are they doing that for the all defensive teams as well? Do you know that or not?
I don't know that, but it's like if you're gonna do one, you gotta do the other.
Yeah,
That's
because
how I see it.
I would say like Wemby definitely deserves first team over if it was doing just position.
Hmm.
I feel like Wemby deserves it over Rudy. So it would have been another year, how people complain that LeBron didn't get defensive player of the year and Mark Gasol did, and he was on second team that year.
Yep.
So if it had to happen again this year, this would be
Yep.
embarrassing because I
This
just feel like
would.
Wemby deserves to be on first team. He should have took on the defensive player numbers. I mean,
No.
I don't like to be the numbers guy, but when you talk about defense, like it's hard
Hmm.
to debate that. And because of course defense is more than just the blocks, the steal, it's how you affect the shots, the
Hmm.
deflections, everything like that.
Yeah.
And we see the impact Wimby had. Like motherfuckers on a three on one fast break and say like, nah,
And nobody want
let
to
me just go
score.
ahead. Let me just go ahead and pass that to the 3-point line.
Like nobody wanted to score.
Like motherfuckers going in dunking on Rudy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not scared of you.
I don't understand it, man.
That's what it is, the politics of it. I don't get what giving him this accolade was for because like if it is team record should have nothing to do with that individual's performance.
No.
Like that's like same thing with most improved player. I
Yep.
don't care if we're the first seed or the 15th seed. If I went from averaging 9-3-3 to 25-7, I think I should get it.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and get into that. I need the NBA to come out. Fuck what they type online. Anybody could type something on the website and say this is this. I need shit. I need Adam Silver hold a press conference or something
Yeah.
and tell us exactly what all of these awards, like what is the qualification for all of these awards? If it's
Hmm.
when you talking about the most valuable player, it needs to be that.
Yep.
Like I understand, and oh, before we even get into that, shout out to Jokic. Shout out to Jokic,
Yeah. Congratulations.
for winning his third MVP in 4 seasons. But and I'm not mad at it because he is. I would, me personally, I would consider him the best player in the NBA right now. But
It was crazy. I would say he's the second best because I'm looking at both sides of the court.
who you have?
That's Giannis.
Ooh,
Like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a Giannis fan, but it's like if we're talking about the best player in the league, what you do on the other side? Like Joker, he's not a liability on defense,
right.
but he's not Giannis on defense. You gotta look out for that because
No,
Giannis will average 2 steals and 2.5 blocks a season
no, that's fair.
and give
That's
you
fair.
30, 12, and 6 assists.
No, that's fair. I can't debate that. Um, but yeah, back just the what the MVP entails. Like, if it's the most valuable player, it needs to be the most valuable player. Like,
Yep.
if I take this person off the team, how how will the team success be? Like,
Hmm.
this person don't need to rely on the second option
Yep.
for the success of the team. Like, so when you talk about, let me just read the stats right quick of Jokic. So once again, shout out to Joker. Um,
Yep. Big congrats. You joined some elite company.
so yeah. So ninth player to win 3 or more MVPs. So you have Kareem who won 6, Mike who won 5, Bill Russell to win 5, Wilt won 4, LeBron won 4, Larry Bird 3, Magic 3, and Moses Malone won 3 as well. So Jokic, he was 10th in points, 4th in rebounds, 3rd in assists. So he averaged 26.4 points, 12.4 rebounds, and 9 assists. So when you talk about the first place votes for MVP, Jokic had 79, SGA had 15, Luka had 4, and Giannis had 1. Um,
That
so
was me.
look, I was about to say, did you put that in there?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. No, no, no.
Do that in there.
Luca, in my opinion, was MVP this year. But I definitely understand why someone put SGA over.
And I wouldn't be, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm not mad at any of those three
Mm.
if they won MVP, but my personal choice was SGA just because just because who can you definitively say is the second option
On
for
that
the
team.
MC? You know
Chet?
what I'm saying? And sometimes he iffy.
Yeah. He'll have those games where
Because
he's not shooting good, but he'll play defense.
one day it'll be Chet, then another day is Jalen Williams.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Um, but SGA was the one that was pretty much most consistent. I think he had like 50, 30-point games this season. And I think someone
God.
said it's like the first time since like the 60s or 70s where um a player averaged 30 or something like that and was the number one seed in that conference and didn't win
Mm.
MVP.
Damn.
But outside of that, it's just like the jump that OKC had from last season to this season. A lot of it was on SGA
Yeah.
and Denver, who is defending champions. We kind of expected them to be top 3 again
Yep.
this season, and it's like I forgot how they say it, but you know how you kind of expect a player when a player is so great and he's doing what he's doing, and you just be like, well, that's Jokic. He does.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't want us to look at it that way, but at the same time, these three are in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
SGA team is number 1, which is
Yeah.
the youngest team in the NBA, which is what was that stat? They were average. The average age was younger than the UConn national
Mm.
championship team. Um, so
Yeah.
I look at those factors as well. Like this is a young team in a competitive Western Conference. Has always been competitive ever since I've been alive watching basketball.
Yep.
Like I feel like you gotta take some of that into consideration as well. Like not necessarily just the average is like points, rebounds, or whatever. Of course, Jokic average it looks great
Yep.
because of what he can do as a big man, especially you're third in assists as a big man.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't, you know, I ain't complaining about that, but just what the heights he took his team, where he's led his team to be at in the Western Conference, like I think that deserves to be MVP. If you take SGA off of OKC, they probably wouldn't even be a playoff team.
No, they
And I'm
wouldn't.
not and I'm not saying if you take Jokic off, they would would be a playoff team, but you still have some key pieces on that team, like Murray, uh Porter,
Mm-hmm.
shoot KCP when
Aaron
he,
Gordon.
he do have a good game. So I don't know. That's my opinion. I just think SGA would have won. Should have won.
No, SJ should have won. I do think that the league gave it to Joker because they wanted to give it to Embiid last season just so
As
she could just shut the hell up. That was about it. You know, this was just one of those years where, and I say that I think every year, not every year, most years, the MVP is gonna feel like someone else was way more deserving. I think the past few years, it's been blatant of okay, this should have went to somebody else. Like Joker's first time, not first time, Joker's second time getting it should have been Embiid's first time getting it. And Embiid's first time getting
and
it
it should have
should
been
have been
Jokic.
Joker's second time getting it.
Yeah, I think Gil said. I think it was Gil that said it was like the way, like the people that's winning MVP like the last couple years is just like the NBA just making up for their mistakes for
Yep.
the previous season. Yep. But I think we all can agree if Embiid was healthy, it wouldn't even been a question about who should have been MVP.
Yeah.
The way he was playing before he got hurt and everything like that. So yeah,
Look, they was holding that man up
healthy.
with duct tape, and he was still giving you 30.
Thanks, man. So if he was eligible for this award, I think we all would have said Embiid would have won that. Would have won that. So I don't know. Congrats to him. I don't know. But let's just go into Shaq comments
Oh,
on
good.
on the MVP. So when they announced it, so Inside the NBA announced the MVP winner, and pretty much Shaq was just giving his opinions on who should have won. He think SGA should have won, and then they started interviewing Jokic. Um,
Congratulations, big fella.
so yeah, pretty much Shaq just kept it real with him and said to him, congrats to him. He loved him as a player. He's a great player, best in the league. He loved his family. But he just think SGA should have won MVP. I didn't really take nothing. I didn't really think nothing about it. But then Shannon Sharp went on. I think it was Nightcap
hmm
went on Nightcap and had comments about it, pretty much saying Shaq may have been. He didn't really say it, but Shaq may have been jealous because he only won one MVP in his career, and then Jokic won three in the
hmm
last 4 years. Um, so did you take it? Did you take it that way when you heard Shaq say that to Jokic?
Yeah, because it's like, let's be real. Sometimes when Shaq gives criticism or critiques to players, I'm gonna agree with him. Just because some of these dudes just soft and can't take criticism. But Shaq also does give unwarranted comments as well. Like his response to Shannon was one, the diss track was another. And he didn't have to say, I didn't think you deserved it to the man's face. Like, just say congratulations and let it be, and then you can talk about it. Because it's like I'm just sitting back looking like Shaq. Why don't you like any other big man? Like, come on, bro. Like every big man in history, someone's gonna be better than you at something. Like there's arguments out there that you're still not the most dominant. People would give that to Kareem. Some people give that to Wilt. Some people give that to Bill. Like, but it's like you had your time. You had your moments, and it's not your time no more. It's okay. Give the brother some praise because it's like you because I know we talked about it before. You still don't like Dwight Howard because his career was better than yours in Orlando.
Mhm.
Get over it, bro. Like, so this was definitely some hostility, but he tried to mask it with praise. But it's like, Shaq, you can have your opinion. You on someone's podcast every week anyway. Or you doing inside with everybody. You could have said this not in front of the man face. Just let him have his moment. Let it be. It's just it was unnecessary at that moment. It wouldn't have been unnecessary if Joker wasn't right here. That's like that's like if somebody graduate and they walking across the stage and the dean of the college is like, I didn't even think you was gonna make it, but congratulations. It's not the time for that. Like we can agree, damn, we didn't think he was gonna make it neither. But it's
Yeah.
graduation. Shake his hand, let him walk across the stage, and then afterwards you can be like, ooh, I didn't know that so and so was gonna make it. Glad he did though.
Yeah, see, I kind of look at it different. Like I get that point of view. So I'm not sure if you like watched it live.
I did.
So I think it was like just the just the energy before Jokic got on screen.
Mhm.
So they announced it, and then Ernie kind of asked Shaq, his opinion on it.
Mhm.
So he was already giving his opinion on who he think should have won. He already was giving his opinion on who he thinks should have won. He said SGA. And then like while he was giving that, giving his talk on the MVP, they kind of like just brung
Oh,
Jokic into it.
yeah.
So I was just looking at it like maybe Jokic was already hearing this.
Hmm.
Wow, maybe he just wasn't on the screen at the time, but maybe he was already hearing this. So, because Shaq was kind of still talking when Ernie was started introducing Jokic on the screen, so it kind of just bled over into
Hmm.
it. So I didn't find anything wrong with it because he was already saying it, and at the same, of course, maybe he could have worded it better. Maybe he could have left it out, but just the way Shaq is,
Yeah.
I think we already know how he is as a person. So it was just like I was already saying this. You're here on screen now, and I can't really change how my face look at the moment. So I might as well just tell you to your face, wow, why you right here on camera. So I kind of respect it. Well, yeah, I respect it. I think it would have been worse if it was like Jokic's like first MVP.
Hmm.
But even in Jokic his speech, it's just like I don't really care, bro. Like
Yeah.
Jokic even give off the energy like I'm just here to play basketball. I'm just ready to get back home. Uh play with my horses. Like he just gives off the energy like, yeah, thank you for the award, but I
I'm
probably
going home.
voted for somebody else myself.
Hmm.
Like, so that's kind of like that's why I didn't take anything from it because I just felt like it just spilled his energy just spilled over. Like they didn't give him like no time to collect his thoughts, and it just spilled over into the interview.
Like,
But
and I can.
at the
Oh, go
same
ahead.
time,
No,
at
no,
the
you go
same
ahead.
time, it's just like I do think Shaq can get a little bit offensive when he doesn't need to, a little bit jealous. I think that's gonna how it be always. Like,
Mm.
who wouldn't be like from previous eras? Like, who wouldn't be mad? Like, I feel like Jordan is pissed at Jalen Brown for having the biggest contract in WNBA history. Like,
Yeah,
I'm the best player in the world, but this nigga, it has the
got
biggest
all that.
contract.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like anybody can be, players that played before this time have a little jealousy. They might not really admit it. The
hmm
only the only player that I know don't have any jealousy in their bone and shows love genuinely is my boy AI. AI loves everybody. He gonna show you love.
yeah, that's true.
He always gonna show you love. But yeah, just from recent from past interviews and stuff like that, Shaq always is hard on current players. And of course he always say, 4 rings,
Yeah,
this and that, G14 classification.
G14 classified. Yeah,
Uh, like we get it, Shaq. We get it. You were at the time most dominant, but these Jokic is more skilled,
yeah,
way more skilled than you. I'm not gonna say he's more dominant than you, but
yeah.
he's definitely more skilled, and I can see the I don't see it, but um he can be a little jealous about that.
It's I get what you're saying. It's just like it's kind of hard for me to be like. I'm not gonna say I respect. Okay, I get why you're saying it because it's like, okay, he won't fake, won't switch. No, like, yeah, I think SJ should got it. But my man, joke is, hey, my man, what you doing? Like, yeah, I get that. I'm glad he won't fake with it neither. But it's still one of those things where it's like, how it came, I was like, yeah, that motherfucker ain't deserve it. SJ should have got it. Oh, he here? Yeah, you ain't deserve it, big dog. But congratulations. Like, you ever walked into the room and your mama talking about you
Yeah,
on the
when I
phone?
was younger.
Yeah, she talking about you on the phone,
hmm
and you still there, but she's still talking about you. That's how that felt. Like, yeah, his ass ain't listening. Yeah, walking in here right now, looking in my face, still not listening. Like, okay, I get it. That's how that felt. It was like, all right, Shaq, we get it. It's
hmm
okay. But it's one of those things where I get that the fake him being authentic of yes, I'm going to answer this question. It is a way to do it depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like if like who is it? Like sixth man of the year. I Not sixth man of the year, most improved player of the year. I
Yeah.
thought that Maxey should have got it.
He did get it.
He did? I thought Nas Reeves got it. No, that's
Oh,
six man.
six Nas was
Six
6 man.
man. Oh, okay. I saw what you call it? I saw some people saying that Rush should have got six man of the year. But it was like, okay, he wanted the six man the whole year though. But
Yeah.
if he had a pretty valid argument. But it was just like going back and forth about how Russ's impact was better. Nas Reed, yeah, cool, whatever, blah 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 blah. But it's like, okay, we can give acknowledgement to what we thought should have happened while also still accepting what is happening currently. Like, yeah, I do think the SGA should have gotten it. However, I can understand why Jokic got it. Congratulations, and let's move forward. But it's just his response to Shannon Sharp, I think, was in way more poor taste. Like, this one is okay. It happened. We over it. I don't really I'm not going to gripe on it. But you ain't had to come at Shannon Sharp like that.
Yeah. He ain't have to do all that. The man wrote a big paragraph. I heard some of the I ain't listened to all of it. I heard some of the this. It was funny. Hey, let me just throw that out there. We don't need to hear no more this year.
No, we
We don't
good.
hear no more this. If we do, let's just let the main two do it. Like I
Yeah.
don't I don't need nobody else trying to throw out no diss tracks.
Nope.
I ain't gonna call out no names. I ain't gonna give y'all that attention, but we
Oh,
don't
no, I am.
we don't
I'm
need no
sorry.
more this. We don't need no more this. I promise you. We don't care. We don't care.
No, like,
Y'all
look,
this, y'all this are not gonna turn into sales. Y'all are at where y'all at.
yeah.
Y'all ain't two of the best in the world. Y'all are at where y'all at. Let's just stay in your lane and just do what you do.
Yep.
Don't go this route. All right, we don't need to hear it.
No,
I know I don't
man.
need to hear it.
No, look, I'm in a diss track mood personally.
Okay.
Like I am. I don't care that don't sell. I just want them to hear it. Like,
Oh.
especially one punk ass who um follows our page. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck your sister.
Come
Like, I don't care.
on,
Fuck you.
Tupac. Come on,
No,
Tupac.
no, for real. Fuck you. Fuck the university you went to. Fuck your degree. Fuck your podcast. Um, hit me up. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, y'all was great.
But anyway, something real quick to add though. I think that this is just gonna also happen though in general with awards. Like someone is going to have a very strong opinion, and someone is going to have a very valid opinion to back it up.
Yeah.
It's just that when it's the politics versus your preference, I think we have a different conversation.
Yeah.
Like the defensive player of the year, that was more of a political thing because y'all just don't want to ride Wemby the whole year. I get it, but that's distasteful. Versus this, any one of those guys could have got MVP.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I would say to close to end this, I would say just because anytime somebody criticize you or anything like that, you don't have to always take it as hate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take it as hate. And I would say if someone do criticize you or anything like that, the third party, just the third party, is not always that person is jealous.
Yep.
Maybe it's just strictly positive criticism for that person. So everything don't always have to be. I know we do it a lot of times in our community. Like
Mhm.
y'all don't anytime somebody say no, or anytime somebody said nah, you're not this, you're not that, y'all take it a certain way. It don't have to be that way.
Oh, we talked about that on my podcast. New episode come out
Yeah,
Tuesday
yeah.
at the time of this recording.
Make sure y'all check that out, because it don't have to always be hate. We just that's just how we feel.
No, and it's like I'll say this, even though I said that there was some like jealousy on this for Shaq looking at Joker's six, I don't want to say success, just the accolade itself. I will also add to that, I don't think that he hates this guy or he has disdain for this guy. It is just one of those things where like, well, damn, where was my other one? I could have had more than one. And Shaq's fair to say that.
Yeah,
Like, and I'm not saying that what he said, having a preference of another player is hate. That's fair game. Because even Draymond Green said that Wemby should have won.
yeah,
But it's like he wasn't saying that Rudy Gobert wasn't a good player.
exactly. So yeah, I think closing. So similar to the last thing you just said, Shaq could have big up Jokic without mentioning the other person. So I mean, I do agree on that part. But I see both ways. That's just how I am as a person myself. I'm blunt. I'm blunt. I might tell you something. Closing thoughts on that.
No, I think that well, Shaq won. Shaq's always gonna catch smoke. His critiques are always gonna be called hate, like no matter what it is. But I do think that sometimes it's like, all right, Shaq, you could have said that a different way. But then sometimes it's like, nah, y'all just saw. Like,
Facts. All right, so I won't spend too much time. I don't really have a lot to talk about. But before we get into region or teaching, do want to give updates if y'all haven't been paying attention just on the semifinals that's going on right now. So in the Eastern Conference semifinals, we have Celtics versus Cavaliers going on. Celtics is currently up 2-1. The Knicks versus Pacers. They just had a game today. Pacers tied the series 2-2, blew Knicks the fuck out. The score was 120, 121 to 89. And then in the Western Conference semifinals, we got the Nuggets versus Timberwolves. They're currently playing right now. Timberwolves lead 2-1 currently, and they're on commercial, so I don't know the exact score right now, but the Nuggets are currently up by like 10 or so, something like that. And then Thunder versus Mavs. The Mavs are up currently 2-1. So out of the Eastern Conference semifinals and the Western Conference semifinals, um, which one of those series do you find most exciting currently?
The the most exciting for me, realistically, like I'll say this, I think the media's biggest one is Timberwolves Nuggets. I think the most exciting is Knicks Pacers
Mm-hmm.
because it's second for me would be OKC and Mavericks, but I'm going Knicks Pacers because Brunson getting 40,
Oh,
and Josh Hart rebounding like Dennis Rodman, and it's like realistically they don't have much of a team.
no, that's facts. You got Randall who's out currently. OG just went down
The other
game
night,
2.
hmm I'm
Um
not getting to yet. Game two, my bad.
so they're doing that without a couple of their
Mitch Robinson out.
Mitch, I about to say Mitch Robinson. So they're doing this without a lot of their key players. So I don't know. I'm always going for the like, and I'm not sure what the odds look like with the Vegas and everything like that. I'm not sure if, even though they are the second seed, I'm not sure if they're the underdogs or not. But I always go for the underdogs. So I am going for the Knicks this series, but just by the injuries, especially to OG, I'm not sure. I don't know. They got to go back to New York, so I
This
think
gonna
they
go to
can.
game. This gonna go seven.
Yeah, I can see it going to game 7. But and then Brunson like the last 2 games he had a off game. So I think once they go back to New York, they're gonna play much better. Um, but similar to what you said, I think the Knicks and Pacers series is the best series right now. Um,
Yeah.
when you come talking about the Celtics, Cavs, the first 2 games was blowouts, and then Celtics was winning. They won, but I was watching that game, and they was kind of letting the Cavs come back, and then all of a sudden they just kind of had a slump and everything like that. And I'm just like, and
That's not an
the
interesting
Celtics
series
be
to me though.
Celtics be up and down too. So even though I got them still going to the finals, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if these motherfuckers lose.
If they fuck around and lose to Indiana or the Knicks, like yeah, I'm not surprised neither. But it's like all these series have been boring.
I swear to God.
Like the Miami series would have not was it no, they didn't was it Miami that they
Yeah.
beat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that series would have been better if Jimmy was
If Jimmy
playing.
Butler would have played.
It's just like, I love Drew Holiday, second favorite point guard in the league. I'm not a big Tatum guy. Like I like Jalen Brown as a player. But it's like y'all series haven't really been worth watching.
Mhm.
They haven't, because it's like round one, of course she's gonna win.
Yeah.
Like
And I
round,
think I think they
mhm.
got the easiest route.
They do got the easiest route. Like your only challenge is whoever wins this next series,
And you should beat them easily.
and you should beat
You
them.
should. Like that's the key word. You should beat them easily. But the way y'all be, I don't know, man.
Like the only way that they would have an exciting series is if they get to the finals and they play either OKC, the Timberwolves, or the Mavs. Like if they play the Nuggets, that's not gonna be an exciting series. Like it'll be cool to watch basketball just because I like basketball, but it's not gonna be a lot of personality because it's like Michael Porter Jr. crucified every time he speak, or a family member you commit a crime. Aaron Gordon, really not that interesting of a guy. Like Jamal Murray, he got a good personality, but that's on the court. Jokic is the horse whisperer. And then on the other side, you know, it's not a lot of flavor gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah, that's facts. I think that's yeah, and I'm guilty, but I haven't been watching. I think the only series I've watched is the Knicks and Pacers. I watched one of the Celtics Cavs. When the Nuggets and Tims come on, I'm always doing something. Um,
They got that weird time slot.
but yeah, I think. Well, this is the last thing I would say before we go to reaching and teaching. I think. Look, I ain't with the conspiracy. Nah, fuck that. I'm with all the conspiracy. I'm with
My
all the
boy,
conspiracy.
like the beam on the conspiracies.
I'm with all the conspiracy. Look, I think the NBA got their hand in this Nuggets and Minnesota
They
series.
do because the
Cause
fans want Minnesota to win.
listen, and I'm gonna stick by. Look, cause I think who did I have in the finals? What was my top three? I think it was the Nuggets, Celtics, and the
You said
Suns.
Nuggets,
No. I
Celtics.
think I picked Clippers. So
You
yeah,
picked the Clippers and the Celtics, yeah.
Clippers already out, but I'm gonna stick with Denver only because they was champion. But after the first two games, I'm like, there's no way Denver can win this series with the defense that the Timberwolves play, how crazy Ant is going right now. Cat is having a good series. Rudy, he didn't even play game two, but he's doing good on Jokic to a certain extent. Jokic gonna give his numbers regardless or whatever. And
Yeah.
even after the game one, Jokic was like, they asked, what can he do to beat the Wolves? And he was like, I need two of me. So it's like he knew like he was in for a long series. But you cannot tell me Jamal Murray shouldn't have got suspended for at least one game.
Yeah, he should got suspended because that was Draymond. Oh, he's suspended for the rest of the
He
series. He ain't
would
coming
have
back.
been out of there. But no, y'all just find him 100K, let him play, and then next game he just happens to have a good game in an away game. Like you couldn't do it at home, but once you go to Minnesota, you're gonna have a good game. And now, looking at the game right now, they're up currently so the currently score right now is 48-34. Second quarter, 6 minutes left. So I'm looking at it like y'all want Denver to win.
Yeah. I
Y'all
believe you. The league want Denver to win, but the fans want
yeah.
Timberwolves to win.
Because I'm right in there. I want to stick with my choice because I've already made my choice. But I would love to see Ant. I would love to see Ant go to the finals. I would love
That'd
to
be
see Ant
crazy.
go to the finals. Especially after the year he having. Oh yeah, if he go to the finals, oh, the league in trouble.
Yeah.
And look, and no disrespect to this person, but if Ant go to the finals, have a great series, no matter if they win or lose. We may not ever talk about Ja the same way.
We won't. We won't.
May not ever talk about Ja the same way. The only way we'll talk about him the same way if he come back next season.
And that was like a triple double
on some killer stuff, like going crazy. And Ja is my boy. But Ant is going crazy right now, so he gonna have to do something. But yeah, final thoughts on the playoffs.
Let's see what happens. I'm just ready to see what happens.
We're gonna see what happens. So we're gonna move into our next segment, reaching or teaching. I know you have one. You wanna explain that to the people?
So basically, this was from another sports podcast, and they were having a conversation of it's rumored that JJ Redick could potentially get the head coaching job for the Lakers right now. He was also considered for the job by the Charlotte Hornets. The conversation was around former players getting first picks, like first attention to be head coaches in the NBA. And one of the brothers on the show was adamantly disagreeing that they should be. Because basically his argument was there's other coaches who may not have been in the league or be a JJ Redick, but they are good coaches. And there have been legends who are coaches who were terrible coaches. Like Larry Bird wasn't a great coach. Isaiah Thomas wasn't a great coach. Same with Magic Johnson. We could say the same thing for that's it, Larry Bird. Yeah, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. They were not great coaches, even though they are legends. Michael Jordan would have been a terrible head coach.
Oh, he's a horrible owner. So
yeah, he would have been a terrible head coach. Like, but you know, we look at the NBA right now. Doc Rivers, former NBA player. Luke Walton, former NBA player. Ty Lue, former NBA player. Chauncey Billups, former NBA player. And it's like, should we always go to those guys who have had those cemented careers in the NBA first for these coaching jobs? Because he basically believes that there's a bias that because you played the game, you know the game. And I don't think that that's true all the time neither. Like there's some people who are just good at the sport, but they don't know the X's and O's. And there's some people who know the X's and O's and never played the sport. Look at Greg Popovich. Look at Bill Belichick. Even like Rick Carlisle. Like he only had a very very short NBA career, but he was a great coach. He was great at X's and O's, and he's a fairly good coach.
Yeah.
So even same thing with people like Ime Udoka, very good coach. Like even when he was in Boston, that whole kerfuffle happened.
Yeah.
So is it reaching or teaching to not pick a former NBA player first for a coaching job?
I would say I would lean more towards teaching in this aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just think, especially with the major franchises in the league and everything of that nature, I don't want what the goal that we're trying to achieve in the season, especially if we're not rebuilding,
Mm-hmm.
is we're trying to make a good playoff run. So you want to have people to come in that already have the experience for the head coaching job, and I think that's for honestly that's for any well besides youth league, but like middle school sports, JV, varsity, college, you
Mm-hmm.
should have some experience before becoming the head coach of a team. So I think he's teaching on that aspect. I would lean more towards giving it to some like another assistant, just like the Hornets
Mm-hmm.
hired the assistant coach from is it Boston?
Boston.
Harry hired an assistant coach for Boston. So that's the route I would prefer over anything. Someone that's already was on the coaching staff and been in the system has some knowledge of the game, has some knowledge of coaching, of philosophy, it's things of that nature. So I would take that route over just hiring a former all-star that's out the league currently and just looking for a job. I'll take that over anything. Now, I would say I wouldn't mind those players getting hired for like a Charlotte team.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Or
saying?
Toronto.
Or Toronto, like the teams that or Detroit. You
Or
know, those
Detroit.
teams that's lower in the season or lower in the conference. Sure, if you want to hire someone that was a former player that that was a great player for that position just to test them out, first, I don't mind that. But how they
Mm-hmm.
did Steve Nash, bringing Steve Nash in for the
And
Brooklyn
he ain't had a
Nets,
job since
he
there.
had I wouldn't give him no job since like he had no experience at all. And we see what happened. He wasn't even a coach. He wasn't coaching. I forgot what game it was. I don't know if it was a regular season game or
No, it was a
a
playoff
game
game. You saw the game when he hugged
when
KD?
he hugged. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, he's like, yeah, save my career.
Thank you.
Save my career. Like stuff like yeah, stuff like that. Like I wouldn't hire a former NBA player to coach a team like that or any franchise that has playoff potential. But if it's like one of those teams that's in the rebuilding process, that's like the Charlotte or a young team like that, sure. But other than that, no. I want you to hire the best possible coach that's very, very, very qualified for the position. I don't care. Just it's similar like kind of like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't never consider myself one of the top players coming out of Prince Edward.
Yeah.
But a lot of y'all niggas can't coach the way I coach.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like come on now. So
Mhm.
that's how I feel about this situation.
No, and I agree. It's one of those things where it's like we're not going to keep getting the Ty Lues and the Greg Popoviches and the Phil Jacksons, like who weren't the best on the team but great at the game. But it's also there's not everyone is like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, multiple championships, multiple MVPs, and couldn't coach worth a damn. Like and even it's like, why does it have to be the NBA? Like me personally, I think that JJ would do better coaching high school and then college instead of going
Yeah,
straight. He would be great for college development because he'll put the boys' egos in checks.
yeah.
Like it'll be kind of hard to tell Pablo Banchero sit your ass down or LeBron James sit your ass down versus this freshman who can just shoot.
Yeah. And I'm good with building relationship with the player, but I don't need to coach a player or if I'm the player, I wouldn't want to coach that I would consider a best friend.
Me neither.
And why? And if you're in the front office, why would you even want that?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's gonna give that player all the leeway in the
Oh,
world.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be as hard on that player as he would be with anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Especially, and we just talk about JJ specifically having that podcast with LeBron. Like, come on now, like
Mm-hmm.
we're business partners.
Yeah.
Turn this into a coach player
Relationship.
relationship. Ah, It's no, it's a lot of conflict of interest
E-
that's going to happen right there.
Exactly. Like I wouldn't want that if I'm JJ. I wouldn't want that if I'm LeBron. And it's like, yeah, we get that. JJ is very smart about the game. He is.
Yes.
But it's like there's other people like Mark Jackson.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can y'all
I
get
was just
over
about to bring his up.
can y'all and I'm gonna say this to be very real. Can y'all get over Mark Jackson being a devout Christian and not agreeing with everything that the world has to offer? That's the man. I'm sorry. Like, okay, yeah, he took players to church. Okay, whatever. Like he brings up God. Okay, whatever. Like if the man can coach the damn game, can we get a man a job? Because that's who the Lakers should hire.
It made no sense. He was the first one to tell us about Curry and Clay. Y'all didn't want to. Y'all thought he was just talking out his neck, out the side of his neck when he said this is the best shooting backcourt ever.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as soon as he was released from his coaching duties, the following season they won a championship.
Yep.
He set the foundation down for them. And even and I think Mark Jackson can get hired at a championship level franchise.
Same.
But even why tell me why Charlotte is not interviewing Mark Jackson. Tell me why who is the other team? Shit, the Suns for that
The
matter.
Suns, but they hired Budenholzer.
Like, why aren't these teams going running to Mark
Mm-hmm.
Jackson? Like, it just never made no sense to me.
It doesn't, but I agree with the brother from the channel. He was teaching like, other people deserve chances who weren't just JJ Redick or Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. Like the only reason Kobe was a good coach is because he coached young people.
Mhm.
Like or even other like being development coaches. Like KG will be a great development coach for big men. Like
Yep.
give him
Yeah, you
give
don't
him Carl
necessarily got to
Anthony.
go to the head coaching route. You can is other positions in this coaching staff that you can feel that you can be effective in, that you can be valuable to the team.
Mhm. And it's like when the Lakers were gonna bring in Rasheed Wallace as a big man coach, and then that just fell through. I'm like, why? How did that fall through? Like, come on now. But I think he was teaching. There's other coaching jobs than just the head coaching, and JJ, good luck. Go
Mhm.
get your money. But come on, Lakers. If he gets hired, which I think he will, I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna rock with it.
No,
I swear I ain't rocking with it.
no.
I was playing, but we'll see what happens.
No, yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that. If y'all think the Lakers should really consider JJ as a new head coach. Y'all think JJ Redick would be good at another team as a head coach. Y'all let us know. Shoot, why isn't he a shooting coach somewhere? Like
You know, why ain't you back on Duke coaching staff?
yeah, I
Oh
don't know.
well.
But y'all let us know in the comments. You got anything else to close off the show?
No, let's see where these finals go. Best of luck to the start of the WNBA season. Like hopefully the ratings keep rising, success keeps coming their way. And hire Mark Jackson.
Yes.
Hire Mark Jackson.
Lesson. Oh my God. Murray just hit a three buzzer beater to go into halftime. That's what
That's why Adam Silver won. He over there rubbing his hands. Like, yeah.
that's what I'm looking at. So they up 64-49 currently right
Mm.
now as I'm watching this. But yeah, y'all let us know about JJ Redick in the comments. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about the playoffs currently that's going on. Shoot, let us know about how y'all feel about the podcast in the comment section. Give us ideas. If y'all want to collab or anything like that, y'all just let us know. But support my boy Aaron, support his podcast, the Woke Podcast. Listen to it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Support Unfiltered Brothers. Listen to it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well. Follow the YouTube channel. But yeah, oh yeah, follow this Reaching or Teaching. That's Facebook and Instagram, and then Reach or Teach 24 on X, formerly known as Twitter. I have to say that, I guess. I'm
Mhm.
always call it Twitter. But yeah, thank y'all for support always, and y'all stay blessed, y'all stay safe, and we out here.